Welcome back to Bridal University. I'm Ebony.
And I'm Zoe.
And welcome to episode 5.
5.
Exciting.
Yeah, it's crazy that we've been doing this for now over a month.
Over a month, yes. I would like to say we're in it, but no, it still feels new.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
Still trying to figure out how to be a podcaster.
Literally.
How to do everything. Trying out some new stuff today, so we'll see how it goes. Hopefully we won't have any of those funky audio issues that have been happening. I know our just podcast listeners, not the YouTube ones, were probably cringing last week, and we do apologize, but we have no idea what is going on with these mics, so.
Yeah,
but new. Fingers crossed it'll be smooth sailing from here.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, do you want to tell them what we have going on today?
Yeah, so today we're going to be talking about new TikTok and Instagram. Today we're going to be talking about TikTok and Instagram trends. I tried to put all 3 of those words together that we've found and collected over time. So we're just going to go through them all and share them with you. Some are funny, some are trendy. They're just fun. So it should be a fun episode.
All right. Which one do you want to show first?
So I think I mentioned last episode that I found a bride and a groom getting married 400 feet in the air.
Oh, the one that was hiking?
Yeah, so they hiked and then got to a certain point and stopped and got married.
Oh.
So I'm going to show.
I feel like I see that a lot, but... Oh my gosh. They're really in the air. For those of us who are just listening on audio, it's a big net in the middle of a canyon that they're standing on.
They're standing on. It looks like a giant spider web.
It does. I would not be able to do that. But it's gorgeous.
It's very gorgeous.
I'd be scared that my heel would accidentally go in one of the holes.
They're professional slackliners.
So they're used to it. They're definitely not scared. But, oh my gosh.
What a way to tie the knot, it says, you think?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
What I was talking about last week, so now that you all can see. Pretty crazy stuff.
Yeah. And if you guys want to see what we're looking at, pop over to our YouTube. For those who listen on Monday when it comes out, the YouTube video will be out tomorrow.
Yes.
So you can see all what we're talking about then. But if you also just want to listen to what we're talking about, that's fine too.
For sure.
All right, what's your next one?
All right, my next one is, I'm pretty sure that this wasn't accidental. I think she was trashing her dress. So have you heard of that trend where after brides are done with the day, the reception and everything, they trash the dress? So depending on the venue, I know people who get married on the beach at the end of the night, they kind of go on the beach and just let their wedding dress get ruined by whatever. So this particular video, they got married on a ranch or on a farm or somewhere rural, but this is what they decided to do.
So the groom is lifting up the bride and he trips and dumps her into a big puddle of mud.
The mud. But I don't think it was accidental. I think they just did it for the shots, to be accident, but
oh my gosh,
I'm pretty
she's
sure
covered in mud.
Yeah.
You know, I get this trend in a way, but also if that dress is anywhere over $1,000, I don't think I could do it. I don't think I can do it. I'd rather hang my dress in the closet for years and never get any use out of it than to trash it. But that's me. I mean, I've heard some pretty interesting stories and I'm okay, I get it. I like the ones of the brides who go into the ocean and get their dress wet like that. That's cute. But to dump it in mud
and roll around in mud, I don't think I could do it.
No.
Nope.
No, not for me. What's next?
All right. Then this was so cute to me. These 2 little girls are flower girls, and their little bouquet is edible. So they're they're able to eat it. Yeah, a little candy flowers instead of actual flowers. I think that's pretty cute.
Oh my gosh.
I was that's a cute trend.
Be so sugared up by the end of that night.
Oh, they're going to be ready to dance at the reception.
Yeah.
They're going to kill it. They're going to steal the dance floor.
I'm going to steal that bouquet from them. Be hey, give me a little piece.
Okay, I think this is, for those who are listening, it looks like it could be, marshmallow or, water taffy.
It almost looks like cotton candy, too. Something like that.
Yeah.
But they're
really
They're
cute.
loving it. They're enjoying it.
Yeah.
So that's that. And then, we have a ski wedding. So literally, their wedding party.
Oh my gosh.
The wedding party and like everyone that's involved in the wedding. They literally are like skiing down.
That's so cool. The photos look really good.
I thought that was cool.
I love when like bride and grooms who are like really sporty include like an aspect of their, like the ones who are, professional slackliners. They go out into the middle of a canyon, and these guys like skiing. So
I think that's super cute.
I think that's cool.
And then this is a new trend that I'm starting to see. So the officiant gives the guests 5 minutes only for the whole ceremony to take pictures. So it's called an unplugged wedding. But it gets pretty like interesting because everyone's like trying to hurry up and like, look over here, like let me get this angle, and it like becomes like a fun little like,
oh my gosh,
5 minutes of chaos before things actually start. So that's a new trend.
But I feel like at that point, then it's defeating the whole point of an unplugged wedding.
Yeah.
Because it's not really unplugged, because you're giving, like, that's what a photographer is for, to take pictures at the wedding. Not for everybody else. You can take pictures of everybody once the wedding is over.
I think for like my friends, like we would have so much fun. Like it would become a thing. Like I see how like the bridesmaids are like running over the bride and like posing, and like it's pretty fun. But I still would ask them not to post until,
Yeah.
So it's like unplug-ish kind of, but it's cute. It's cute. So those are mine.
Okay, I'm gonna pull up mine. Gotta hop into my phone first.
And comment below on our YouTube video and let us know, like, did you have a favorite trend? Would you do any of those trends? If you got married, did you wish you did any of those? Did you do any trends at your wedding? There's so many things that you can comment below, so definitely join in the conversation.
For sure. All right. A lot of mine, I feel like, that I send you are like informational, so I'm like, oh, that's what that's about. But I found this lady on TikTok, and she was talking about which parts of the wedding each side pays for traditionally. And I always like never thought about that, because I feel like everybody just says, oh, the father of the bride pays for a lot of the stuff. But I don't think that's necessarily completely fair or how it is. Like it's two people getting married. I think both sides contribute. So this lady kind of breaks down what each side pays for. So I'll do this one.
You're engaged. Now, who pays for what? Did you know that over 6 million couples in the United States will get engaged on Valentine's Day? So if you are one of those lucky guys or girls, I have some information that will be helpful. After all, you're new at this. Now, traditionally, the bride's family typically pay for the venue, the food for the reception, the florals for the ceremony site, and the florals for the reception, transportation if needed for the wedding party or the guest, photographer, the videographer, the wedding cake, lodging for the officiant, and lodging for the bridesmaids if needed. The groom's family typically pay for the rehearsal dinner, the alcohol for the reception, the officiant, the bride's bouquet, the boutonnieres for the men, corsages for moms and grandmoms, and the reception music. Now, none of this is set in stone. The key is good communication. If you know someone who recently got engaged, share this with them, and check with me tomorrow. I've got more good info.
Anyways.
Did she come up with that herself?
No, but I don't think so. But that seems like a lot.
It's a lot for the bride, right?
The bride's family, yeah. Because I know in theory everyone's like, oh, well, it doesn't seem, food and whatever. But, like, something that I don't think a lot of people realize is expensive, or how expensive it's going to be, is the flowers.
I was just going to say that. The flowers are so expensive.
They're so expensive. And I did a little bit of research a while back because I was writing some blogs about weddings. And they say to put aside, like, 10% of your budget for florals alone. I think sometimes more, depending on how, like, much you want your florals to be in there. But you got to do the boutonnieres, you got to do the bouquets, flowers for the tables, and just the event in general. So that's, like, quite a lot of flowers. And if there's specific ones that you're looking for and they're not in season,
that's going to be hard.
Yeah, it's going to be just more expensive. I'm sure it can be done, but anything that's out of season.
Needed, like,
I know like centerpieces, and sometimes people have a couple on the table, or depending like a head table with different, like it can get expensive. And then like the decoration, like if you're doing like an arch, if you're doing like
I feel like there's also like designer florists now who are like, it's like a big Instagram thing where like those big cascading bouquets, and they have like crystals and all these other things in them, and it's not just a bouquet of you holding flowers anymore. It's like a whole garden in your hands, basically.
Like a whole party. A floral party. Yes.
Yeah. So I think that's a interesting way to like break it down into who does what. So it seems like the bride's family does a lot of the actual wedding, and the groom's family does a lot of the reception and stuff for the groom. I mean, I get it, but also like
It's a lot.
it is a lot to ask for.
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of times now, like the couples are just paying for a lot of the things, like so I feel like there's no right or wrong.
Let's go to this one. Oh my gosh. This girl didn't end up liking her wedding dress and decided to get like a whole new one like the week before her wedding. It's really interesting to watch. So if you're, you know, an audio listener, come over to our YouTube and just watch this whole breakdown, because I don't know how she did this, because we'll have brides in here with like 6 weeks to their wedding, and it seems like we're not gonna have time for anything, and she did it like so fast. But anyways, here, her name is
Well, but true story of how we made my wedding dress 14 days before my wedding. And what you're looking at is not it. That's the one that didn't fit me that I ordered 6 months in advance. So I drove myself to New York and I went to Fabric Row, and I was like, I'm gonna pick out fabric and we're gonna make a dress. But if you're getting married, you know, stress is high. And I think I just had a fever because this was not a good idea. But here we are picking out illusion. I was making sure it matched my skin tone because that is important. And then my journey continued to about 7 fabric shops. I had a vision. I wanted a long sleeve dress with an open back illusion. So I'd grab these extremely heavy rolls of fabric and just try them on.
Back in Philly, my entire wedding dress in this bag, and I'm walking into my seamstresses. This is her first reaction of the fabric. Do you like it?
I do.
Okay, good.
But it was the scariest thing she could have told me. But she's like, you need to cut out all this applique before I sew it on. I ran home. My maid of honor and her mom brought these crazy fabric shears. We had 17 yards of fabric. My mom, my mother-in-law, we spent 22 hours cutting out this applique. Ta-da! Okay, so here's my wedding dress. Yes, I was terrified, but my seamstress is a goddess. We took it down to the wire. This is 11 o'clock the night before my wedding, and she's still going. We're putting a little flower here, a little flower there. And I must have tried this thing on 15 times. And let me tell you, getting a wedding dress of any sort on and off is just not easy. But it was coming such a long way. I developed this crazy rash on my neck, so we stuck tape, double-sided tape to try to keep it, whatever. This is the probably 15th time that day that I had taken it on and off. It was the last time before I got married, because here's the final result, and it turned out amazing, and I have a crazy story. I wouldn't trade it. If this happened to you, would you make your dress, or would you go try to find one on the back?
It just amazes me how drastically different this dress is
from the original
dress she ordered.
Yeah.
I'm like...
So for those who are just listening, the original dress she ordered was a strapless, clean, no detail dress. And she claimed, you know, it didn't fit her from when she originally ordered it. So instead of trying to make that one fit her, which you could do, she decided to make a whole new dress. And it's completely different. It's no longer strapless. It's long sleeve. It's no longer, you know, straight all the way down. It has a huge slit up the leg, and it's completely covered in floral appliques.
3D, like, and this also proves our point to episode 2, I want to say. Someone will come in with a picture of that dress.
Yes.
And be like, I want this dress right here. And it was custom. Like, it was a custom made dress to her body. They literally did it piece by piece. So keep that in mind when you're looking on Instagram and TikTok and finding these extravagant dresses that 9 times out of 10, it might be custom made.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I'd like to discuss this with you because I think it will be really interesting to talk about. And I'd like to know what our listeners think as well. If you had, what'd she say, a few days before your wedding, and your dress comes in and it doesn't fit, first of all, why is your dress coming in a week before your wedding?
Literally. And, like, I have so many questions.
Yeah,
I'd
like a full
Zoom call her, Zoom chat her.
We need a story time from this girl because
I need more.
I want to know this thought process. But what What would be your game plan? So let's say you get your dress in and it's a size too small. Where do you go from there?
What are you doing? And how do you get to now that this dress doesn't fit, I'm going to just customize this dress. Like, I need to know her thought process on that.
Yeah. What's your thought process? What would you do?
Ooh, for me, I would probably go to like my local bridal shop. Hopefully if they have samples or something like that, that's where I would go. My first stop. I think while I'm doing that, I would go online and probably pick like 3 to 4 dresses that I like, try to like get them overnighted. I would do all the options.
Yeah.
Like that would be me, like ordering some, going to visit some stores, probably buying one from one. Like I would probably end up with way more than I needed, but that's just me. But custom, that would drive me crazy. Like how she was saying the night before her wedding at 11 o'clock, they were still piecing the dress together. I would be crying. Like,
yeah, no.
I would be in tears. I wouldn't be able to do it.
I would be like, just sew the dress onto me. Mm-hmm. It's fine. I'll be here.
Yep, I'm just going to sleep like on the wall.
I think for me personally, if let's say I get a dress and it's a size too small, like it won't zipper up in the back, why wouldn't your first thought be to put like a corset in the back?
Alter it, yeah.
Why, like, you picked out that dress. Don't you still love it? Yeah. Why aren't you trying to fight to make that dress work? Why are you trying to go make a whole other dress in a completely opposite direction of what you were originally going for?
Which, that tells me she didn't love that. Like, I wonder why she picked that dress.
But I'm also thinking maybe her plan all along was to customize the dress, and that was just like the bare bones dress, the strapless one. But even still, why not still make that outline work like that?
And then just put the flower appliques like
over it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just have so many questions.
So many questions for her.
And if you guys have opinions, would you do something like this? Would you just be like, screw it, I'm going to go make a dress? Like, I feel like as a bride, wouldn't that stress you out way more than trying to research or bring the dress to your seamstress to have her just fix the original one or add on to it?
I was just thinking that I'm like, the brides that I work with, they would lose it. Like, I'm just like, I don't see how her knowing that her wedding was that morning, she's like giggling and laughing, like, oh, we're getting it done. I'm like, wow, kudos to her.
Yeah.
She's so calm. I'm like,
I would be crying.
I would be stressed.
I mean, she sounded stressed, but like also, why put yourself in that position in the first place?
I feel like she knew that they were going to get it done. So it's one of those things like, and this is TikTok or Instagram. So it's like, how believable. Like,
that's true.
You know what I mean? Like, is it just for clickbait or is it like a real actual thing? Because who in their right, like, really?
No.
You're that calm. It's funny. Really? Is it funny?
I don't think it's funny.
It's not funny.
You know what? This is the thing about like TikTok trends and how the internet works now. I feel like there is so much praise for those who put themselves in stressful and like upsetting positions. Like
just for it to end up good. You know what I mean?
Like I've seen those TikToks of kids who are like, writing their final paper for their master's degree like 20 hours before, and they'll like vlog while they're doing it. And people are like, oh my God, you got this, you got this. I'm like, don't encourage them.
Because someone's going to try to do that and fail.
Yeah. Hard, like,
don't encourage these things. If it works for you, or like put a disclaimer, like, this works for me. I actually do this. I procrastinate. Like say something like that, but don't lead people to fail.
Yeah.
That's not cool.
No, because there is going to be a bride that comes in here someday who tries on her dress and maybe she doesn't love it as much anymore, and she's like, oh, I'll just go get a custom one made. Like,
I saw on TikTok, like, this girl did it in 22 hours. I can do it.
Yeah. No.
Nope.
Not a thing.
Not gonna work.
All right. Enough on that note, because now I'm just like baffled.
I was about to say, we like picked that one apart. We like dissected it.
I know. We talked about this trend before when we were originally talking about this episode. We talked about brides who go through significant changes between the wedding ceremony and the wedding reception. Some people change dresses, which I think is more common. We've had brides in the past who will buy like a big poofy ball gown, but obviously you don't want to dance the night away in that. So they'll change into, mermaid, a more fitted dress or sheath, no train, anything like that. That happens. But what's been happening lately, I've at least seen 3 or 4 videos of it, so I don't know who the original person who inspired this was, is getting a drastic haircut between the ceremony and the reception.
Like drastic.
Like going from long, like
30 inches.
Yeah, 30-inch hair to a bob.
A bob. 8 to 10 inches.
Yeah. So I'm going to pull up this reel and we'll watch it. So the bride wanted not only an outfit change. Oh, gosh. She's like getting so much cut off. But a haircut.
You know what bothers me about this?
What?
Imagine the hair. You know, after you get a haircut, all that, like, that's like, I get itchy just watching it. I'm like, oh, all that hair was probably in a little outfit. But.
Yeah, also I'm thinking about the time between the ceremony and the reception. How good is that haircut?
That's what I'm saying. Like, put your hair in a ponytail and then cut a ponytail. There you go.
DIY haircut.
Like,
yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on who you have, and if it's just a cut, I'm sure it's faster. But usually to get a good haircut, your hair needs to be wet.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I was like, but doesn't your hair need to be wet? We have so many questions for these trends.
Yeah.
As you can, like, tell.
We're very skeptical people.
We need more details. We're not sold.
Okay. Here's... this one isn't a TikTok. It's an article. So... a lot of brides and couples lately have been trying to do these like crazy budget weddings where it's like, I got married for under this amount of money or whatever. And I get it. You know, you don't want to spend a lot of money. Some people do it really well, and some people...
You can tell.
Some people you can tell that it was, you know, very budget friendly, is the nice word to say it, but... So, this article's from BuzzFeed, and it said, this couple's $500 wedding is going viral, and it's inspiring others who don't want to go into debt over their nuptials. So, let's read the article. Kiara and Joel, a newlywed couple who have recently lured quite a few unsolicited opinions after sharing how they pulled off a $500 wedding. It all started when 1.3 million people watched a now viral video of Kiara trying on wedding dresses before she ultimately landed on a $47 gown. Now the 28-year-old is sharing the ins and outs of her 2-month wedding planning process in a series of TikToks that are raking in hundreds of thousands of views.
She probably made more money than she spent on her wedding and TikToks.
That's true.
About her wedding.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool because if you're getting all those viewers, you're getting paid, so that's
Seems like
nice.
the most expensive thing was the fiance's suit, which was $100.
Does it say where she got her dress?
I think when I originally saw this article, it was from like one of those fast fashion websites.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
But I mean, that's, you know, kudos to her for figuring it out and getting it under 500. But at some point too, I wonder what is the quality.
I was just gonna say
of everything.
Quality.
But I mean, some people don't put all those expectations on their wedding either. To each their own.
Yeah, they're just like, whatever. It's more about the love and the people there, which is true. Like, that's cool. I guess it just depends on like what matters to you, right? Like, I think that people focus on quality because they want to look back at these pictures, and I think quality shows in that too, like the way it just looks overall, the overall aesthetic, the overall look. So I get both ends of it.
For me personally, I think budget is very important, but I think people need to be realistic with their budget. I feel like this bride understood what she was getting for the money that she paid. I feel like what we don't get a lot with brides is that they have this budget, but they really are not doing research as to how much everything is actually going to cost. They just hope that everyone's going to come down to their price range.
That's very true.
I think a lot of times we get people who are looking at older articles and, you know, trying to do their research on something that's based 5 years ago. 5 years ago, you probably could get, you know, a better priced wedding dress for, you know, and have it be high quality. But now, after the pandemic, after everything's happened, prices are changing. You're not going to go out and find a totally glitzed out dress for $600.
Yeah.
It's just not possible. So you have to set your expectations. If you're someone who wants a simple dress, $600 might be doable if you find the right place.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're someone who wants a ball gown with beading and sparkles and all of these things, very unlikely that $600 to $700 is going to be anywhere near that. You're probably looking double that cost.
Because, like, material and supplies are going up as too, like, you know, so it's not the same. And also, too, I think a lot of times we'll hear, like, oh, my best friend got married 3 years ago, or my aunt got married 3 years ago, or my mom, and it's like, 3 years ago doesn't sound like a long time ago, but because of everything that you just stated, things are a little different. So prices have went up. We see it every day. And we try to, like we said on one episode, we try to work with brides as much as possible, but it's like we also have to, like, stay in a certain margin and be realistic too. So we can't change too much. So that's a great point too.
I think a lot of people are just hoping to find deals. I feel like a lot of us are very deal conscious now. And every time I have an appointment now, I feel like I hear the, you know, even if it is in their budget, they're asking, you know, like, can it go for any less? Which, like, we can work something out if it really, you know, if you really need us to. But don't set your budget to be a certain price if you don't actually want to pay that price. And I feel like that's something we get a lot too, where someone comes in and they're like, oh, my budget's $2,000, but I really don't want to buy anything over $1,500. I feel like you have to be really transparent and honest with yourself as well as your stylist. Like, if you are coming in saying your budget's $2,000, but you don't want to spend over a certain amount of point, then that amount you don't want to spend over is your actual budget.
Literally, yeah.
If you don't want to pay all the extra stuff, you don't have to, but then don't say that you are, because if we pull out an option that is around the budget that you give us, but you don't really want to spend that much, that's not helpful to either of us.
Yeah. And just keep in mind, too, accessories, you know, budget that as well, because if you're coming in and you're going to try on veils with the dress too, you might want to budget in a certain amount for that. Yeah. Hair pieces, jewelry, you know, like, try to have an overall budget just so we can know what to offer you in that moment, because we don't want to pull a veil that doesn't fit in your budget and now it goes with your dress and it looks perfect, but that wasn't really what you intended. So I think, like, we're not going to judge you. Like, whatever price you give us, we can either make it work or it's just not. Like, there's only two options. Either we can do it or we can't. So it's better to just be upfront and honest so we can pull out our resources and we can do whatever we need to do to make sure that we find you that dress. So.
Yeah. So, well, I'm out of TikToks. Are there any other trends that I don't have any videos to show, but are there any other trends that you've been seeing lately? I have one in mind, but if you have any, I'll let you think about it.
I'm trying to think. Not that I've seen.
I think, personally, just people making videos about their weddings in general is huge. I think if you are someone who's trying to be on social media, get every photo, every video from your wedding, collect them all, and find trends that it works with.
Yeah.
I've seen, it's not really a huge trend, but I've seen it pop up a few times on my TikTok page, is brides will go over the people that were in their wedding party, and if they're still friends with them, it's, like, really messy. Like, some of those things, like, it'll be, like, the whole bridesmaids, and the bride will be like, yep, we're still closer. No, she stopped talking to me immediately after the wedding. And I'm like, oh my God.
That's really funny. That's my no, I'm just kidding. That's my kind of content.
No, but it's, like, funny. Crazy. And then people will be like, oh, do the groom side. And it's like, oh my God.
What about the family?
Yeah, who do you talk to in your family? Like,
that's really funny, though. I mean,
if you're someone that loves to, you know, spill the tea and be petty, go ahead.
Tea, spill it.
Spill it. But I saw that and I was like, oh my God, I need to know more. Like, what happened?
Then it keeps you, like, interested. Like, ooh, I need story time.
Yeah. So as long as you're still into the groom, I think that's fine.
All we care about. Literally, that's all we care about. But yeah, I've seen that too. Like, people, like, really recording their whole process from like engagement to like, and I think that's cool because you let people inside who like, kind of what we were saying, how you don't want to bring everyone to these appointments, but it kind of makes everyone feel like they're part of the process, even if they're not with you at alterations or at those different. So keep that in mind too, because that's a way to keep everyone included.
I think too, as long as the bridal store is okay with it, which they probably should be if they're also on social media. I know for our store, we love it when brides like record and, you know, show how happy they were during the process, or send us pictures of them picking up their dress. Or like today I was going through and asking brides, like, please send us photos. We'd love to put them up in our store. Like, you know, I think we as the store and also like, you know, as employees really love to see the happiness that the brides experience. So definitely ask permission from your bridal stores if you can record during the appointments, because some businesses are different. There are different rules and laws in each state. So definitely be like, is it okay if I record some little things while I'm here? And if they say yes, then go ahead. But if they say no, try to be respectful of that and don't overstep. But for the most part, I think a lot of stores are going to be okay with you recording because it's free publicity.
Yeah. I will say, though, as a stylist, I love the pictures and the videos and different things. But I remember once one of my brides said yes, and they posted a picture of me on Instagram. I was like, thank you so much for the stylist, but like in the worst like angle. Like I was literally bent over fixing the train of her dress, and they took a picture of that, and I'm like, so just be careful. Like if you are taking pictures and you are gonna record someone, like be like respectful, I guess, of like what you're using and like the angles. Like if you wouldn't want to see yourself in that angle, maybe not post someone else.
Yeah, or just ask permission.
I will pose for a picture. Just let me know that you're taking the picture.
Yeah, because I had a really sweet bride that came in here, and she has like a whole wedding website, and she's like documenting the whole process. She was like, I want to get a picture with my stylist, and I was like, crap, I look horrible today. I don't think I was wearing like enough makeup, but I was like, you know what? It's special to her. I'm not going to deny her of that. So I'm glad that she asked to, so I could prepare myself mentally for that. But I usually love to do photos and celebrate with brides. And, you know, I've had a few that were like, come drink champagne with us. And I'm like, I can't. I'm on the job. I appreciate it, but I can't come over there.
Oh, a cute trend that I've been seeing. I had a bride who brought like a disposable camera, and she was like taking pictures and like asked me, like, I think that's really cute. Like we took a picture together on her disposable camera, and she said like the whole process, her whole little journey, she's been like capturing pictures on that camera. So that's another little cute trend.
It's really cute.
Really
I love that film cameras are like coming back, especially during weddings. Like they'll have someone that's taking pictures on film and someone that's taking it digitally. I think that's a really cool.
It's cute.
A cool thing, because then that, you know, well, I mean, I guess it depends on the film camera and if you get it on a CD or whatever, but usually a lot of people just get the prints of those, and it's like the real original photography. So I think that's really cool.
Like on a cute little cork board or something.
Yeah. I don't know. It's something I enjoy. I love seeing things like that, or like including some like older styles or traditions or things like that. I think are cool. There's some traditions I think are a bit dated at this point. Are you gonna tell them?
I'm gonna wait to tell. Okay. We have something that I'm going to share, but we'll share soon, and it'll kind of tie in. Let's see. Maybe we should wait for that episode so we can include the secret.
Okay, now we have a big secret that we have to keep from you guys. You're gonna have to wait for that episode.
You gotta keep watching.
Okay.
There's a secret coming.
Yes, big secret. But you know what's not a secret? We're hosting an event.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. You want to talk about it? I'm so excited.
I'll give the rundown and then you can do your excitement. Okay, so if anybody knows Ebony and I, we kind of just build off of each other in this really like fun, natural way. So if we're really bored, we'll be like, have you ever thought about doing this? And then we're like, wait, we could totally do that.
Let's do it.
And then it runs into this big idea, and then finally it's like a complete thing, and it's been only 2 hours, and we have a full, complete event. So we reached out to the bridal store, Bridal Affection, and we are going to be hosting a fashion show with them. It's going to be so fun. So if you're in Southern Connecticut and you want to be a part of it, please go to our website, go to the events page. Tickets are live right now. We have general admission, which includes a lot of good stuff. It's got raffle tickets. It's got complimentary bubbly. It's got the whole fashion show event in general. You can talk to vendors. But then, if you want to be extra fancy and you want a whole Sunday out, do the VIP experience. You get to come in an hour early, get to hang out, you get extra stuff, you get little fun things to do, and you get to meet us. And you can maybe be on an episode if you want.
Yeah, we'll do like a little special segment with us.
So this event will be Sunday, November 6th. Doors will open at 12, 11 for the VIP members, and it'll go until 3 o'clock. So there's going to be food and fun stuff, raffles, all that great stuff, and a whole fashion show.
Yes.
So
it's going to be so fun. We're going to have a DJ. Like you said, we're going to have some brunch menu items. We're going to have some bubbly. It's just going to be great. We're going to do some Q&A stuff about the podcast. So make sure when you come, you watch the podcast, take some notes, some things, because we're going to be raffling out some amazing prizes. So some of the questions are going to be about us and episodes and titles and different things. And so just be having a little notepad ready and taking down some notes. But we're excited. We're so excited.
I'm so excited. I love event planning. I love doing all this stuff. So I'm really I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So if you guys are interested, our link down below, bridaluniversity.net, or for our listeners, it's bridaluniversity.net. You go there, you go to our events page, and it'll all be out there. Also, for our podcast listeners who are brides-to-be, so those who are engaged, getting ready to be married, and you don't have a dress yet, use code BRIDE2022 in the checkout for $10 off your ticket, and that will let us know that you are a bride-to-be looking for a dress, and you'll get a whole goodie bag. You'll get coupons, you'll get little gifts and fun stuff like that. You'll get a sticker from our podcast. And
we have a special raffled price that's going to be just for brides.
Yes. All right, guys. You know how we got to do this. I got to pull up the question of the day because, you never know. Yeah, this ties in a little bit with some of our last episode. So I feel like we can discuss this really quick. Maybe not the last one, but previous ones. How do I know when my dress is my dress, and why can't I stop trying on dresses?
Okay, 2-part question. How do I know when my dress is my dress, right?
Yeah. I think more so the person is asking, why do I keep feeling the need to try on all these dresses even though I kind of know what I like, you know?
So I will say that bridal moment definitely exists. And if a dress is speaking to you and you can't stop thinking about a dress and that dress is on your mind and you're comparing it to other dresses as you're trying it on, it's time for you to just commit and say yes to the dress, because if not, you're going to drive yourself crazy. No. So if you're having that experience, then you have found your dress.
Yeah. And if you found your dress at, let's say your first appointment and you're like, oh, crap, I can't say yes at my first appointment. Yes, you can.
You can.
If that's the dress you've been looking for and you've been looking at, doing your research, there's no problem with saying yes at the first appointment. Yeah. And then, boom, your search is done. You don't have to keep going everywhere.
Yeah. If you have that feeling that you never want to take that dress off and, you keep thinking, that's your dress. Just save yourself the headache and just get the dress.
Yeah. Don't, just because you're trying to feel like you've done enough, research and tried on enough, be careful with that. Sure, some people do need that to feel better about, saying yes to the dress that they really liked. But I really hate for brides to get overwhelmed, and I feel like it's very easy for brides to get overwhelmed, and they do frequently, especially with trying on dresses. They'll try on 10 in store and be like, oh, I can't try on anymore. I'm getting overwhelmed. So imagine if you're going to 5, 6, 7 different stores, doing multiple appointments.
Yeah.
You're going to be so confused. I've talked about this in the previous episodes, but just focus on finding the dress, not about the experience of going to as many bridal stores as you can.
For sure. And then what was did we answer both?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't need to try on 47,000 different dresses.
Nope.
If there's one dress that keeps calling your name, it's okay to stop the search. You can go to it. It wants you.
It wants you. You want it.
Yeah.
It's not running.
All right, guys, that is... Ooh, I keep bumping my mic
You're
today.
me today.
I know. I'm not doing well. But
Look how
it's
well
fine.
I've been doing. I've been sitting with my hands
Oh, look at you.
just right here.
Well, before I bump my mic again, it is the end of today's episode. Thank you guys for coming. If you're just on audio, make sure to pop over onto our YouTube. If you're listening on Monday, the YouTube will be out on Tuesday. And if you're listening on YouTube and you didn't know that we're on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, you can check us out there and give us a follow.
For sure.
But until next week, we don't know what we're talking about yet. We thought we did,
We
but
thought we
we're
did.
going to hang on to that secret.
Yeah,
so.
we have a secret that we got to keep.
Okay. All right, guys, make sure to go check out that event, and we hope to see you there. It would be
Yes.
awesome to meet our followers, our listeners. So,
That would be so cool. I can't wait.
oh my gosh, I'm so excited. All right. Bye,
Bye,
guys.